go, bro. Let's go to this hockey circle, though. When you see the coach aligning towards a hockey circle, generally it means there's some kind of turn that's about to happen. And we're doing the forward inside 3 turn. So forward inside 3 turn, what does it look like? Okay, that's the forward inside 3 turn. The forward inside 3 turn, first off, is it's like the forward outside 3 turn, but people find it much more scary. And I can easily explain why. If the forward outside 3 turn goes horribly wrong, oh, boo-hoo, my foot goes down, you know? Forward inside 3 turn goes horribly wrong, and I'm there, it's a lot harder to recover from. So probability of hurting yourself drastically through the roof, okay? So that said, obviously if you follow these tips, it will minimize the risk of it. Okay, so generally let's talk about the 3 turn. We're going to start here, half circle, quarter circle, we turn. It means at the quarter circle point we need to be already facing the circle. Okay, preferably you're going to start with the opposite arm forwards, because that's generally how we teach inside edges. So you'll be here this way, you'll look at your delightful circle and flick to backwards and keep admiring your delightful circle, okay? That's generally what we're going to go on for the first step. So we're really trying to turn on there, right? Start off in your T position, opposite hand forwards, bend in the knees, push, extend, feet in, rotate. That's the first step. In fact, we can hold that for a half circle, okay? Bend, push, feet in, rotate, and just hold, okay? If you get used to just holding this inside edge facing the circle, at some point a turn feels like it might materialize. If you don't get the feeling that the turn might materialize, you haven't generated enough momentum, so it's not going to happen. If you're really struggling to understand how to get the coordination to work for the inside 3 turn, we can devolve the technique a little bit and start here and just do push turn to try and get this, okay? Although eventually we're not going to want to do it like that, because say you're jumping a toe loop and you start with your inside 3 turn, you're going to want to be here, to pick and be here. You're not going to start here and get to there and then be completely in the worst possible place for your 3 turn. And it would be harder to start here and turn like this. Generally opposite hand forwards for it, right? What was I talking about? I'm waffling. Yeah, so the first step is getting that momentum, which is going to be push and rotate the body fully as the leg comes in, okay? It's quite common that the push happens. Push, rotate the body. I can't turn, Lloyd. That's super common, but I haven't rotated the body. If I take my arms out the equation and put them behind my back, if I do what I've done there, is just done push like this and then wondered what I'm doing with my life. Here, the rotation is the torso that needs to rotate, right? So I'm here, push, rotate, and I've rotated my torso and I feel like I need to turn, okay? So that's what needs to happen. We can try it closer to the barrier if need be, so that you can just get the feeling of push and flick and use the barrier. Of course we can do it like this, but eventually we want to take it away from the barrier, because when we do practice on the barrier, I can't really put down very deep edges. If I'm like, right, I'm going to practice it and I put it down a deep edge, I'll just go straight into the boards, okay? So as soon as you can get away from the boards, recommend getting away from the boards, okay? So I've got to face in the circle, I've got my foot in, I'm enjoying the circle, I'm looking at the circle, this is great, it's all circle. At this point I need to pull this shoulder back aggressively, snap my hips against my shoulders, and in one quick move with the weight on the ball to the foot, flick to backwards and stay. Okay, it needs to be quite a quick turn. Reasons it goes wrong. Generally I said, not having enough momentum going into it, leaving the weight on the wrong point of the blade to turn, i.e. leaving the weight on the back of the blade here to turn. I'm there, it's on the back. That noise, I don't know if you heard, that noise is a sign that you had the weight on the wrong point of the blade. If you have the weight on the correct point of the blade, it's silence, which means I go in with my weight on the back, I face a circle, and the moment I flick, I go to the front of the blade to turn. Not onto the toe pick, but towards this nice ball of the foot here, okay? And that way, You don't hear it. Hear that? Oh, I skidded it. I messed it up. There we go. That was quiet. That was quiet enough. I'll take that one, okay? So that's what we're looking for with the inside three-turn. Now, after, of course, we have to make it fabulous. All the regular skating things apply. Bend, head up, hips underneath you, position, push, extend the... So before the camera died, as I was saying, all the regular skating things apply with this one. Posture upright, head over the center, hips underneath you, bend before you push. You in this position, extend the free leg back, point the toe. As the leg comes in, we flex the foot and bring it in close together whilst rotating the body. Turn and check, and there you go. We can on the exit, if you want, bring the foot in, flex, turn, check, and extend it out as well. That's an option, and even as a higher level one, you keep the leg out the whole time. But we need to develop this snapping action first. If you don't have this snapping action, it isn't recommended. So those are my steps for getting over this three-turn. Oh my gosh, I should have mentioned one final thing that is quite common, is people, this is why we did the first part of the video actually, it doesn't make sense in my head, it just doesn't necessarily make sense to you, the viewer, right? The forward inside edge on the entrance, people like to cut short or go straight. They don't like doing the three-turn and they're like, oh, I just want to get it done with. Head turn. Yeah, which is not really what we want. We want a nice glide and turn, okay? So that's what we're working our way up to, which is why we did that first exercise, just generating the rotation on this hockey circle so we can feel that moment where like, now the turn can happen, okay? If we don't get that moment, the turn will block at the quarter point because we wouldn't have got the full rotation, the full momentum. Once you hit the quarter point, you'll keep going that way, but your blade won't move because it's going sideways, so off you go. And you're just going to collapse over to the side. You're not going to have a very good time. You're going to think, Lloyd has no idea what he's talking about. I tried his video and I fell on my hip. But really, if you follow all of these steps, you know, practicing it the way I said it first, you should be able to do it and then leave me a nice thumbs up at the end and say, thanks Lloyd, it helped me a little bit.